Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anna. It's so wonderful to be back. We've had a big break from December last year, and we've both done our different things over the holidays. Anna, you were saying that you've been skiing in Canada. Oh, where did you go? Sorry, skiing in
Yeah,
Canada.
we went to Canada. We went to Whistler. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
wow.
lovely time. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you. And hello, everybody. And it's so good to be back. It's so good to see you and have the conversation going. And it's going to be better this year, for sure. I can see such a great future for you, for me, and for a lot of people. From what I've seen in the last few weeks, yeah, I can see a lot of hope. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a good year for sure.
Yeah.
So our topic today is you, the leader, in leadership. And I hope that we've got some people coming on board who want to hear this or who watch it later, because it's a really inspiring topic. And I wanted to start with, we'll just get straight into our topic. I wanted to start with the quote, one of my favorite quotes. And I actually have a badge, some badges that I made. They're quite large. And when I was doing an exhibition, I had them made to give to people. And I had different quotes on them. And one of the quotes that I really love goes like this. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And when I looked at that the first time, excuse me, I thought, oh my gosh, I am a leader. And it was such an amazing, because we all do that. Most of us do inspire others in some way, and we all are leaders. And so, I wanted to talk to that, and how, every great leader controls their mind and their thinking, and knows how to build relationships and rapport and care about others, and contributes to others' success and well-being. Every great leader who has ever lived has been in complete and unanimous agreement that we become what we think about. So they may have disagreed about most other things, but every great leader was in agreement that we all become what we think about. So our thoughts, us being in control of our thoughts, is so important.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah, I want to.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, I love the quote, and that's why I was thinking about my brands, and to put my word out there and work out there as well. I thought carefully about, a few words that describe who you are and what you do, and I chose inspire and empower, and that was in that quote to say inspire others to do more, dream more, and be more, and how wonderful is that? And it come back to us as the one who inspire or empower other to do more or dream more. We ourselves have to be that person. No one follows someone who just don't follow through with what you intend to do. You say, I have a massive desire, I have a vision, I have a purpose, but what are you going to do with it? Do you have a plan to follow through? Are you going to commit to that? Are you going to be consistent and, going through up and down, go past obstacle? Are you going to face failure and find lessons in that in order to move forward until you achieve what you intend to achieve? Are you that kind of person? If you're not that kind of person, you won't have anyone to follow you. Yeah. Oh, I don't intend to have anyone follow me, but I intend to live my life to my max potential. So, So go back to you, the leader. That's for me, to lead my own act, lead my own thought, and lead my own words that I choose to speak every single day. Like I used to try to hide that real self by saying the thing that other people say to mingle, to fit in. But I think become a leader, choose to be, um, having your own purpose, having your own vision, have your own dream, and stay true to that, you got
Yes.
to act, to talk, and to think true to who you are, true to that vision, true to that purpose. Yeah.
Mm,
So
mm.
that is a journey. It's a lovely journey. And I feel the more I am in it, the more I hang out with similar people like yourself, the more I am empowered. Like having a conversation with you, I am inspired and empowered. So I consider having you as a leader to follow, follow your way of thinking, follow your commitment. Just like this, we came up with an idea last year, and then we plan it out and we committed. We say we do it. I know a lot of work, lives getting in the way. You have your lives getting away, but you committed to this. I know so much work you have to put into, preparing the material, marketing, and you put thought, time, work, put whatever you got in it to commit to this. And I'm so grateful for that. Yeah.
And
It's the
thank
act
you,
of
Anna. Uh,
act of a
thank you,
leader.
Anna. Yes, and you don't follow me. We are together. We are together in this, And that's the
Yeah.
thing about leadership is its connection. It's creating an impact and its service. Leading from the perspective of service to your team. And so I want to give you a few ideas around how to do that with a team of people. And it's all about appreciating people. A good leader will, for example, say thank you, give thank you notes showing your appreciation. A good leader will show up for calls prepared and on time. A good leader will cheer the team on. A good leader will be listening and asking the team lots of questions. And a good leader will upskill their team in something they would love. Give them a call or text just because you're thinking of them. It's all about people and building that relationship and that rapport. And when you get into the habit of showering your team with love, sharing your mission and your purpose, and showing up as your authentic self, that's when everything starts to shift. And so, as you said, Anna, your dream, your initiative is your dream or your vision. And when you, excuse me, when you learn to work in harmony and in concert with the immutable laws of the universe, you don't have to try harder. You actually allow and you make welcome. And you don't have to force and push and work harder. Working hard is um, one of those sayings that people use as if it's a good thing. Oh, he works hard. She's a hard worker. In actual fact, it's a belief that we've been given that's not actually true. You don't have to force. You don't have to push. We allow and we make welcome. Just as if you're watching television and you watched one channel and you get tired of that channel, you get tired of that life, you're tired of the news program that's constantly negative news, you want to go to the Discovery Channel or the Cooking Channel, or you want to go to travel, you don't force that frequency on your television to become something else. You simply tune to a new frequency. You set your tuner and you tune and change the channel to a new vibration. And you do that in life. You make, excuse me, you make welcome the new program.
Yeah. You just brought a thought to my mind, because when I started the journey of solo entrepreneur, and then now I am in a network of leaders and independent entrepreneurs, I asked myself the question: how can I be And what is the simplest way to be an effective leader of amongst the leaders, amongst very talented people? And how can I lead myself in harmony with others people so that we can create an environment where you bring the best out of everybody so that you can bring the best out of yourself. Yeah, it's the active leading is it's not about forcing other people to do certain things for you. It's more for me, how can I simply bring the best out of people to work for a common cause, for a common goals, for a cause. So we all aim for something good together, not just like leading used to think, is it to get people to do what we want them to do? That is the old way of leading. It's more like managing. In
Mm.
when I work for other company, it's more like, oh, we got a project, we got this, and I have to report to my manager. So I have to make sure that everyone is doing their job so that I can look good and then I can get my own promotion. So when I go out, it's no longer like that. It's about people, their willingness to grow, their willingness to become their best self. So how can I simply do that? So by digging for answer to the question, it's such an interesting journey. And so I've been introduced to books and introduced to all the thought, big leaders' way of thinking. And yeah, so it came out that it's so simple. Like you said, everything in the world happen in our mind first, right? So
Mm.
everything created in our brain first, and our brains for generation we've been collecting all these seeds of thought, and some of them are good, some of them aren't good, some of them are really negative, a lot of them are self-doubt. So now, in order to, from this moment onward, if I want to change, what am I going to do? I ask
Mm.
myself, I want to create good things, bring the good out of others. What am I going to do with myself first? So when in the journey of learning, I just realized that of course we can control our thought. Of course we can choose, but it's quite complicated. Each day we have like 70,000 thought popping in, out all the time. How can you control those so many thought? But then we can control the input. We can control the input. So from then on, I choose what I listen to because we have these faculty.
Mm.
Human being
Mm.
only have five senses, and that intuitive, what is six, we call sixth sense, yeah, intuition.
Mm.
So if we use five senses, we have to take the input through senses have to be selected. So I said, okay, that's it. We only need to control the entry. Whatever coming in will go out. Yes. So it's like your glass of water. If we consider ourselves a cup of water, if that cup of water has been diluted, we just keep pouring pure water in, keep pouring in, and then it push all the other out and keep pouring, and pouring long enough, the cup will be pure. If you be
Mm.
filled with water. So for me, that was like at the moment, that's how I operate on that principle. Just keep pouring in purity, pouring in the intake from all my senses. I have very selective of what I put into my system. Yeah. So I'm not sure how you managed yourself as a leader.
I love what you've said, Anna, about asking myself a question or a different question. You said that many, many times. And that is actually part of how we get access to our intuitive mind, to the answers as a spiritual being, is to ask those questions. So I love that you've
Mm.
said that. And then there was something else that you said too. It's gone out of my
Thank
head.
you.
And you're so right. We think that being a leader is this person who is at the top, and we used to think, and that they're there, they tell you what to do, they're the CEO or whatever. However, we now know that leadership comes from serving, and it comes from within often. And I want to remind you, I alluded to the thinking. I love that you said that too, and that we have control over our thinking. So everything comes from our thinking. Everything is created in our minds first. And in 1959, we've all heard of Earl Nightingale. He was one of the first people who started the industry of personal growth through
Oh,
recorded messages released. And they
yeah.
were called, he called them the strangest secret record. And he said it was strange that it was a secret. And the strangest secret was, as we mentioned before, we become what we think about. And he
Mm.
said it was strange that it was a secret because every great leader who has ever lived, as I mentioned before, has been in complete and unanimous agreement that we do become what we think about. And so, that's an interesting concept, isn't it? When you
Just that
understand,
one message, if it
yes,
get carried through, and if people really believe that, they wouldn't choose to think suffering. They wouldn't choose to think
correct,
limitation. They wouldn't choose to
correct,
think self-doubt. They would choose to think I can. If people really believe in that message you just deliver,
correct.
then straight away you choose to think and you choose to read, listen, read, watch, what?
Yes,
Feed our mind of the belief that I can do it. I can I can handle anything and I can reach a star. I have a plan and I will get with the people who believe and build my belief. So we would straight away we change the way we think. Like I totally agree with that. And when I got enough messages from all the successful leader, then I say, oh, if they say so, why shouldn't I believe in that?
yes,
If they say that everything created in the mind first, then I want to create success. I want to create happiness. I want to think thoughts of happiness. I want to think thought of good kindness. I don't want to think thought of self-doubt anymore. Straight away cut. Yeah, just for me, managing myself is managing my thinking. Managing intake. What I see, what I hear, what I listen to, what I taste through all the senses. I have to be deliberately choosing. Yeah. I'm not sure if you still hearing what I say. So
I am,
thank
and I was just looking at the Mark is making some comments, so we'll come back to them in a minute. Yeah, and
yeah,
you are. I have absolutely been listening to everything, Anna, and I agree with you. However, one thing that happens with people sometimes is that we do have
yeah,
some self-sabotaging blocks and beliefs that are going
mm,
on in our
yeah,
unconscious or subconscious mind that we
yeah,
actually are not aware of. So it's great
mm,
to be focusing on the thoughts that we want to focus on, like you've said, to be having empowering thoughts and inspiration, reading inspirational work. And yet sometimes we have some negative things that keep coming up, or some doubts that keep coming up, or some fear that keeps coming up, and it's coming from our self-sabotaging blocks. And
yeah,
those can be very deep-seated um, beliefs or fears that happened from an experience we had when we were very young, or it could be in the womb, or it could have been in a previous life. And one of the beliefs that we get from other people, all of our beliefs are from other people, they're not from ourselves. And they're often from people who love us and care about us and tell us how the
mm,
world is, how the world is. This is how it is. And you say to someone, well, if you ever question it, I was always a questioning person. Well, how do you know that, or why is that right? And people will often just say that's how it is. Have you heard people say that? That's how it is. And of
mm,
course it's not how it is. It is how society and the Western world and all different people um, want us to believe that's how it is. So one of those beliefs, for example, is that, and I mentioned before, that if you try hard and you work hard, or you can't be successful unless you work really hard. And so we tend to keep trying harder and working harder. And I would ask those of you who are listening Do you believe that you could do a whole lot better if you just tried a bit harder? And, I've spoken to many people about this, and I've listened to many people about this. And I want to tell you a little story, Anna, if that's okay.
Sure, thank you.
And it's a
But
story.
before you tell the story, I think I challenge the thought that all our beliefs are from other people, because then what is the part about you are responsible for what you hear, what you see, and what you say? Who is responsible for that? It's got to be us. So you can say when we were young, before 7, you may be, you don't know what to choose. You haven't got the faculty of analysis yet. But after that, you already have enough to choose what is right, what's wrong. So what we take as the right one or wrong is up to us. So we have to take some ownership there. Yeah. So otherwise, you cannot be the leader. You'll be the follower. You let people influence your thought. Then that is your choice. Your choice to become led by somebody else, or led by the media, or whatever. So you, the leader, have to come from here. Way adult. If you are above 18 or even 13, choose what you want to believe. Choose what you want to hear. Choose who you want to become, and choose the information carefully and wisely, so you can become the leader, not the follower. So I would just want to challenge that part. Yeah.
I agree.
Thank
I
you.
agree. I agree. Yes, I agree 100%. If you've got to that point, many
Yeah.
people don't even realize that they are living the beliefs that they have inherited with everything in life. Most of us. So remember, Anna, the people who study this work and work with this work are 2%. 2% of the
Yeah.
population.
Thank you for reminding, because
I
so we
love
know we know we have to keep going and spreading that,
Yes,
and make that increase
yes,
that percentage. Yes, and then
yes,
the world will be
yes.
a better place. Yeah.
So our goal is to create our own beliefs, is to
Yeah.
repattern our programming, is to question the beliefs that we have grown up with, and ask, well, are they truth? Are they really truth? Or
Do they
are they
serve you?
something that I've inherited from someone else? And then
Mm.
you choose, like you say, to accept that as a belief that's right for you, or to throw it out and replace it with a new one.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is ask those of you listening if you think that, or you believe that if you try harder, you could do a whole lot better. And most people will say, yeah, well, obviously, if we try harder, we can do better. And so I want to tell you a story about I'm sitting in a quiet room while I was on holiday in New Zealand, in a peaceful little place, hidden among the beautiful trees, pine trees, um, in the country in New Zealand. And it's past 12, it's late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on just feet away. Now, this is a true story, by the way, written by a man named Price Pritchett. I just changed the country um, to be New Zealand. And he's written a book called U Squared, which is about how changing our mindset can change our results dramatically. And so what he said was, there's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energy in a futile attempt to fly through the glass at the window pane. Now, we've all seen this. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. It's not working. Try harder. Fly away. Come back to the window. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival to this fly. And ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It's impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. We've all seen this. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. And yet, across the room, just 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time.
Give
And
me,
this small creature could reach the outside world it seeks with only a fraction of the effort now being wasted. It could be free of its self-imposed trap.
wow, you
Now,
give me this, goosebump from the story.
the breakthrough possibility is there. It would
Mm.
be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach? Why don't we try another approach?
That's me. That almost got stuck hitting the wall like that. It's just like speaking to my soul for 12 years. It's just hitting the wall, and then just
Yeah,
turn around the corner. I'm so lucky that I escaped through that door and the whole world out there. Thank you so much. Love that story.
something
You've got to
dramatically.
retell that story at the beginning of the talk, you know?
Yeah.
Got to retell the
So,
story again.
so yeah,
Mm,
that's the thing. We all do this. How did it get locked
mm,
on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offer the
mm,
most promise for success? We all do it. What logic
mm,
is there in continuing until death to
mm,
seek a breakthrough with more of the same? So,
mm,
no doubt that approach made sense to the fly.
mm.
Regrettably, it was an idea that killed it. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to
No.
achieving more. And as leaders, if we can share this with people, right?
Yeah. Mm,
Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life.
mm,
Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the program. You stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever. If you do that, you may kill your chances for success. So, when all of those, any one of you who was holding up your hands, you were demonstrating two things. Either you weren't thinking or you were involved in the wrong reason. And this
yeah.
particular story is about reason, which is one of our 6 mental faculties that we're given at birth. We have 5 senses, like you said, Anna, and we have
Yeah.
6 mental faculties, and reason is one of them, intuition is another, memory is another, and so on.
Yeah.
So we want to get you involved in the right reason, whether you're a leader or whether you're in a team. We want you to, excuse me, begin to think, because it's with your inductive reasoning factor that you think. Like we said, it's the
Yeah.
highest function that you're capable of. It's the greatest tool that you've got. Every great leader that has ever lived has been in complete and unanimous agreement, as I said before, that we become what we think about.
You think. And you
Same
know
with that.
what you say just opened me up to this thought of having your senses open, you know.
Mm, mm,
Otherwise you were just hitting the wall, the
mm,
glass like the fly. Our sense is given to be open up, to listen, to check out, to look out. There might be a solution somewhere else. You know,
mm.
there's a solution. The door just right there, and then life is so much different. And that may be answering my question. What is an open-minded person? Probably open all the senses to the world, receive and accept with
Yeah,
faith, with trust. Yeah, rather than with the or believe that the world out there is to get me. Maybe the world out there is to give me opportunity. Maybe the world
yeah.
out there is full of wonder and possibility, you know. So being the leader, you've got to have that. So love it. Love it. Thank you so much for that lesson, Karen.
And you're
Wow.
so right. We can choose whether the world's out there to get me or whether
Yeah,
the world is out there to give me.
to give me. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Are you
mm,
worthy of being given the greatest thing out there? Yeah. So leading myself is leading that thought of faith, belief, and believe that the world out there is full of kindness, full of wonderful leaders, full of wonderful opportunity. It's just me. It's just me. Who am I worthy of it? Do I deserve what I would be given? Right. So So wonderful. I love talking with you. I love the story that you share, and it gave me a lot of insight in such a short time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. And here's a power question for us to finish on.
Hmm.
Do you know about all of the many things that often build what we call a paradigm block, or a
Hmm.
sabotaging block, where we give the power to the conditions in our lives to find the possibilities we can have. So if we say, I can only have this if I have some outside condition or circumstance, I can
Hmm.
only do this if I have some outside condition or circumstance. What I want to ask you is, if none of those were present for you, none of those outside conditions or circumstances that you think you you have to have in order to do, be, or have something, what would you love? If you give thought to, what would I love to be, do, or create to the construct of my life, you'll begin to see the magic as well.
Yeah. So I relate it. It brought to my memory a quote that I really love from James Allen's one of James Allen's book. Circumstance does not a circumstance does not make man. It only reveals him to himself.
Mm,
So if you say the circumstance reveal me to myself, am I strong enough to find way to overcome and go out there? Or when the negative block or self doubt arise, do I find way to overcome that, or do I hide behind that and give that circumstances an excuse to stay
yes.
small? Yeah.
Yes. And even
Definitely.
even sometimes I totally agree with you, Anna. Even sometimes we don't think it's an excuse, we think it's real. We think
Yeah.
we really can't do this because we don't have
Mhm.
that. And I often give this example because, as some of you know, I one of my specialities is quantum physics, and I share and teach quantum physics around our thinking and how we create the results with the frequency that we are thinking at.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm an expert in quantum physics, and yet if I believed that I had to have a degree in quantum physics at university, a degree at university to be an expert, I wouldn't be able to say that I am. I wouldn't be able to do that. I have learned, of course, I have studied much work
Mhm.
and studied with master coaches and mentors on this topic. However, many would believe that in order to say I'm an expert in an area, one has to have a degree at university. And I know that's simply not true.
Luckily, as an entrepreneur, you don't need um, any certificate. If you want to go for that in your business, you don't really need anyone to tell you can deliver this services or product or not. Like
Mm,
Steve Jobs. I'm not sure if he finished his education. Bill Gates. He didn't need the certificate to be the most powerful man in the world. So, but a lot of us would just say, "Oh, because I don't have that, so I can't do it," and then
yes,
they stop there. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Although
So
I
it's,
do have
it's
a,
your
I do,
belief. The leader
I do
is in
have.
a yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
Mm.
sorry. I do
Thank
have
you.
a certification, simply not one at university.
Mm.
So let's finish. I'd like to give 3 books that I recommend that would be helpful for our listeners. And I'll just say hi to Mark. Great to have you here. Mark Scott said, thanks, ladies. Thanking you for your thoughts, Karen and Anna, and enjoying it. So it's wonderful to have you here, Mark. So yeah, let's look at these books. You know them probably, Anna, I'm sure. The first one I recommend to read is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And as I said earlier, that book made me think. As a Man Thinketh was the second one by James Allen, and it was written around the turn, excuse me, of the last century, 1903, or something like that. So this work that we're sharing is not new. And the book causes one to monitor what you think, pay attention to what you're thinking. And then the last one I would love to recommend, and it's one of my Bibles, is as a quantum physics expert, and I'm also known as the Quantum Queen, by the way, is from Price Pritchett, and it's called U Squared, a high velocity formula for multiplying your personal effectiveness in quantum leaps. So take those books down, look them up, order them if you can, and read them. Do you have any books, Anna?
It just happened that one of the books that you mentioned is in my bag right now.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Great. So you definitely read
Yeah,
it too.
I just love this one. I read it. This is the third time because every single line in that carries such depth. And then when I read it after 6 months of growth, and I look back, I say, "Oh my God, it totally different, new meaning to me." So it's really small book, but every single line has something in it for me. Yeah, it's the first book that we recommend. I also love that. I read a few times. Love
And
it.
as you
Yeah.
say, the second time you read it, you always get something different depending on where you're at the time when you reread.
Exactly. You can tell the book carry all the depth of wisdom and insight of the person who is so many steps ahead of me. So that's why I keep going back. As I go on that step, I see something else revealed from the same words, same sentence, something else revealed, and that's what I loved about these book. Yeah.
And that's sort of on a closing note, and that's a really good point about being a great leader, is that great leaders know that they can learn from others. Great leaders know that they can always be learning by reading or attending anything, presentations, boot camps, seminars, that there'll always be something they can learn. They don't know everything, and we can gain from each other. And, I gain from you, Anna, you gain, excuse me, from me, and, hopefully everyone gains from us together.
Hopefully 1 or 2 points that we share from the lesson of other people and pass through us somehow, it might connect with someone. And that's why we're doing this, right? That's why we're doing this. We don't know who will connect with us, and maybe after they read the book but then they listen to us, there's something about the energy that is connected, like some meaning, the same sentence from the same book, but when spoken through you, carry certain energy. And then I got it just because you said it. Yeah, so I love it. Yeah, and as well, learning for me is like I used to, when I work for other people, for lives, doing one company after another, I tend to rely on myself too much. The achievement is about personal achievement. It's not about like today. I would be my achievement is about increase my value so that I can add that value to other people. So I see the achievement in how much I can add to the other people's lives. So it's totally different focus. So with that, when I learn, it's different. I want to learn the success story so that I can add more value to other people's life. So
Yes.
it is very fun, very joyful. It's not about am I good enough to perform certain tasks anymore? Because if I'm good enough, then I focus too much on myself and I have a lot of self-doubt. But now it's about any value that I can add to anyone is a plus, is a bonus. And that becomes
Yes.
so joyful. Yeah. So that is
I
shift and
love
change.
I love that, Anna. And yes, we share that, is that the reason we learn is to share. Whatever we learn, we share it with others. Whatever we learn, we share it with our clients. We share it with other people. We share it through things like this. And we're learning to share.
Yeah, definitely. It should be like a flow, like money. Money come in and money go out, just like a flow of energy. It's not about collecting. Like I used to collect a lot of knowledge because of self-doubt, because of insecurity. I got to have more so that I can be more. It's about for more achievement of myself. And that was so much insecurity. Yeah. So never have enough. when you go around and everyone around you is so much better. No matter how much you learn, someone know more, and then you feel like
Yes.
a chase after a
Yes.
phantom, like a
Yes.
shadow. You chasing your own shadow, and it's really exhausting. And I didn't have the guts to share anything, but now even one little point is worth. Oh, I value it. So there must be somebody else there who value it. Let's
Mm,
just share it. You know. Thank you.
mm.
I love
That's so
talking to you. I
lovely.
think you forever. But I got a group of friends waiting for me upstairs. So we might
We'll,
we might
yeah,
just say goodbye to our audience. Yeah.
we will. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mark, for showing up, and anyone else who watches this on the replay.
Thank
It's
you.
been great talking with you, Anna. And next fortnight from now, we'll be having another meaningful conversation. All right.
So good. I'm looking forward to that.
Have
And have a happy Lunar New Year, a year of the dragon. So,
yes,
and soar and fly like the dragon.
beautiful. Thank you, Anna. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, bye for now.